Welcome back to Conversations. As promised, John DeKoven is with us today, but I hope you'll make us laugh. But we're not.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. We're pretty good though.
I'm laughing already, John.
We're pretty good too. So if you don't get funny, we're okay with that. But we didn't invite you here to be funny. That would be an extra. Okay. We invited you here today because you're doing something new. You always are doing something new. The comedy is what you do at night, and it's wonderful and fabulous. But you're doing something during the day now, besides sleeping.
Right. My tagline is digital geek by day, comedy nerd by night.
Love it.
That's exactly what my email says.
Okay. So the digital geek, you have opened a new company, Your Digital Handyman. Mm-hmm. Which sounds like something we could all use, because I get stuck when I'm working on my computer and things go wrong and I need a handyman. I didn't realize that people like that existed.
Well, they didn't until I came along.
Thank you, once again. Yeah.
That's one day, I've always been the guy my friends have called with their problems, and it's always kind of like little things. It's not just the typical, I've got a virus or my computer's down, but a lot of smartphone questions and tablet and this and that. And then one day I had my regular handyman over at my house. And
the guy that pounds in the nails.
And I said, hey, can you fix this? Oh, and by the way, can you fix this? And that's how the whole concept came along of digital handyman. So usually when I meet with people, they've got like 5 or 6 little things they need done, but they don't really know who to ask to fix it.
Right, right.
So you fix anything, any type of technology, right? Do you fix anything like TVs and things of that nature? If someone needs something set up, do you get into that digital realm, or are you mostly just computers and smartphones?
It's well, I mean, I could do. I mean, some people they, don't know how to set up the cables. I mean, that's kind of a minor thing, but what it is, it's a lot of smartphones. I mean, now you got smartphones, you got tablets. People want everything syncing together. They don't know how to check their email, so it's just as technology's gotten much better, it's actually, I think, gotten more difficult for the average user.
Yeah, they're called smartphones. I sure feel dumb.
I know, because the phone's smarter than we are.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
When I got my iPhone for the first time, and that was really quite a big moment of celebration around here. I had finally come into the 21st century. It took me a little while, kicking and screaming.
Straight from rotary phone to iPhone.
Yeah. And it did not have a manual with it, and so the idea was just kind of figure it out, and you do. But the concern that I had is that I was going to break something or do something wrong, and that it would destroy whatever data I had in there now. Is that a pretty common concern, that people are just kind of frozen in?
Right, well, you get the phone. It comes with a manual, but
it does?
Sometimes, people don't want to look through the manual. They're too impatient.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, when the iPhone first came out, it was more the geeks using the iPhone, but now the iPhone is mainstream, and the geeks use Android.
Oh.
So, because Android is much more customizable, there's a lot more things you can do with it, but conversely, just like a PC, it has more complications. So that's what I'm doing a lot of, is showing people. I actually have a seminar I do, it's called Pimp My Android, which is all about showing people how to...
Don't go there.
Which is all about how to customize your phone, how to make it do things automatically. Like, for instance, when I came here, my calendar shows, hey, I have a meeting. My phone turned to silent. I didn't even have to worry about putting it on mute.
Oh, that was good thinking.
There's just a lot of things you can do with the phones that just people don't know.
Well, how do you get to know that? Aside from calling you, because you're a great resource and you do this for a living, how do you find out the ins and outs of what an Android is capable? Because I'm an Android phone user, so according to you, I'm a geek, which I'll accept that title. But how do you find out about what you can and can't do, or how do you maximize the capability of your phone?
You got to do the research. So it's like you're either going to do the research on your own, or you're going to pay me as the guy who's done it for you.
Gotcha. I'd like to pay him off.
I know.
So I would like you to do that.
Yeah,
too.
that's what he would like. Well, and you're doing something that's kind of serious. I thought a really good topic that you wanted to talk about. You said that you know now more about internet security when it comes to, for parents with children, that you're something that you're focusing in on, because there's so much stuff out there that kids should really not be able to get their hands on, but do.
Right.
All
well,
right,
Again,
what
well,
do we
again,
do?
I think as the technology's improving, it's easier for kids to get to stuff they shouldn't be getting to. It's harder for parents to control it. Or, a great example is a lot of parents will say, hey, I'm going to install this security software on their home computer, but they'll just pull out their phone and they can get on the 3G or the 4G and get to the stuff. So there's a lot of different things. There's more now that parents need to be aware of and different control systems than even like 4 years ago.
So if you're handing your kid an iPhone or an Android or something for Christmas or Hanukkah, you're handing
Festivus.
or Festivus,
Right.
yes. So if you're handing them one of these, would you kind of program it before it gets into their little hands as to what is will be now locked down and they will not be able to get into?
I'm probably not a fair judge because I don't have kids, but if I did,
If you did.
There's different levels. I mean, there's some software where if I did have a kid, I think it would be too invasive. I mean, you could go all the way to having software on the phone so while they're using it, everything's coming up on your computer.
Wow.
So you could see
mean like
every,
texts?
Yeah,
and stuff?
every text they're sending,
my
what
goodness.
websites
And
they're
that's why you
browsing.
should contact him, folks, because he is going to help you spy on your kids.
Right.
Or if you're a child and you found this has
right.
happened, call John and he will remove it too.
And then, by the way, it's for spouses too. We can get into that whole area.
Wow.
Oh
Husbands
my.
and wives,
It's kind of
boyfriends and
exciting, isn't it?
girlfriends.
You say,
Okay.
Around the
say, hi,
holidays.
honey, here's a new phone I got you
And it's
for the
already
holidays.
programmed?
It's already, they don't know what's going
I
on.
don't think he's condoning any of this type of behavior, but
but
it
this
is
is-
possible.
but-
Call him up and he'll show you
Wow,
how.
this is
But
interesting.
there's, so what I'm trying to do is show parents, and next year I'm actually putting some seminars together on internet security, how they can lock it down at their house actually at what's called the router level. So, because sometimes what they'll do is they'll put the software on their computer, but then a friend comes over with their computer. So there's ways at the router, which is where the internet's coming in from, that you could right there say, okay, anybody that's hooked up to this,
Cannot.
you can block out, by categories. So I don't want gambling, or I don't want porn, or
It's
I
like a
don't-
firewall
sorry.
at the router level.
Yeah, right. It's right there. Or you can even specifically, you could go into subdomains, meaning like, okay, I'll let them go on Facebook, but you know what? There's this one person I don't want them to be able to get to, so you could put in their Facebook site so that they can't get to it.
Interesting.
I've got a question that I want to ask from
You
you
saw me, dude?
No,
Okay.
Dude, I have a question I want to ask you.
He didn't, but it would have been okay.
I showed my age there a little bit. So, dude, I got this question I want to ask you, and it's kind of a societal type question. I'm gonna get a little deeper here on you for a minute, but I want to ask: at what point did we cross the line? Or maybe because you're on the tech side of things, you're on the geeky side of things, you have a knowledge that a lot of us don't have. Do you think we cross the line to where technology is now starting to become too invasive and counterproductive in our lives? Because the whole point behind technology advancing is to enhance our lives, make it better, make it easier. And it almost seems like with tablets, computers, phones now that can operate like a computer almost, that we've gotten to a point where it's just starting to cave in on us. Have we gotten there yet, do you think? Do you think we've
Probably. I mean,
crossed
I
that line?
don't even worry about privacy anymore. People are so worried about privacy. I'm like, you know what? It's just all
gone.
out there. I'm not going to worry about,
Yeah.
every little thing. I mean, my only thing is I tell people is don't put anything on the internet that you wouldn't want your parents to see. Because, I mean, if it's on there for 5 seconds and then you decide to take it down, it's probably too late.
It's retweeted and
It's
re-Facebooked and
retweeted,
everything
the whole
else.
thing,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. And kids don't
So-
understand the ramifications of that kind of thing. Something
Not
that
at
seems
all.
harmless at the moment, and it can
Well, I
really
don't think
destroy
grown-ups
lives.
understand it either,
Well, that's
because a
true.
lot of grown-ups
And
put some
then-
personal
Anthony
things on
Weiner.
there. Yeah.
Right,
No.
well, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Exactly.
Well, and then you've got, a great example recently was Petraeus.
Yes.
Right, that whole
Yes.
thing.
A simple
yes.
benign email that ended up
But here's the thing, it wasn't even an email. See, they thought they were being smart, and what they did is they set up a Gmail account, and they would write emails to each other but not send them. So they would
they can
share
log
the
in.
account and log in and still got
Even that
discovered.
didn't
General
work.
Petraeus should have called you first.
Now you're still
So,
making us laugh in Livermore.
Still trying to make you laugh in Livermore now.
Bunjos.
Well, it's actually, yeah, I mean, Bunjos is the production company,
Okay.
and so now we've got some shows at the Sanctuary Ultra Lounge in Livermore every
Lounge.
Thursday.
Okay.
It's kind of a casual, it's a nice small room, it holds 40 people at the most. It's
Okay.
$5,
All right.
and we
It
bring
can't go
in,
wrong. All right.
bring in great comics from all over the Bay Area.
But if you're having trouble with your technology and you need a little support, this is who you're going to call. John DeKoven. He's the digital geek by day, comedy nerd by night. He's your digital handyman at www.yourdigitalhandyman.com. Can we give your phone number out?
Of course.
400-8370. Great to see you again.
You too.
It's
Nice
great.
meeting you. I
Likewise.
don't know.
He's good, isn't he? I don't know. Found him.
I'm going to call you when I need some.
Sean and I will
invasion.
be right back with My Gail talking about the holidays.